Welcome into DC On Screen. We are the podcast that has been bringing you news and reviews related to the DC Comics multiverse on film and television since 2015. I am your host, David C. Robertson, and this is your other host, Jason Goss.
Hello.
It's almost like Lovitz.
Mm-hmm.
Hello.
Mm-hmm.
How have you been, man?
Good.
Are you?
Yeah.
I'm tired.
Yeah.
I was worn out, man. We've been looking for a car.
Take it as red as tired on my side too. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Well, it's been a couple weeks since we've done a DC on screen. And I felt remiss because we didn't mention last time that there's this whole, or there was, I haven't seen it in a while, but there was that whole like bring Zack Snyder's Justice League to Netflix, let Snyderverse finish on Netflix thing. And I don't know, somebody showed it to Zack over on Vero or whatever, and Zack liked it. So, that was some fuel to the fire. So, I think they could absolutely do it. And David Zaslav, if he wanted to, could license it out. And hell, I don't know, it might be a whole thing. I would love to see it.
I mean, he'd have to eat the fees that he supposedly objected to very hardly. But again, It's just like my argument for a long time now. By that, I mean like 6 weeks has been just, let's give it some time. Let everything get started. Let's maybe let it finish in an actual cul-de-sac like this time. One that we're all prepared for. And that isn't just a cheap way of getting out of the sand after you've like sunk in so far that you're grasping for vines.
Mm-hmm.
But Netflix would be fine.
Yeah. I mean, I would watch it. I mean, obviously. Whatever.
I mean, it'd be unavailable in like 9 months, but I'd watch it for those 9 months.
Right. Well, that's everywhere though now.
Well, that's fine. After that, traditionally it'll like transfer over to Amazon or something where I can actually buy it and just have it until Amazon crashes.
Mm-hmm. We do.
Bezos, damn you! I've got movies I rely on. You keep this shit going.
I'll take my physical media. Thank you.
I don't have enough space. Not a room.
I mean, I don't buy them very often.
Where will I keep my copy of Scrooged?
On a pedestal somewhere?
Yeah.
We have news about Ezra Miller.
Mm-hmm.
They pled guilty in their Vermont trespassing case. Basically, they got a plea deal.
Uh-huh.
They were alleged to have stolen multiple bottles of alcohol from someone's home in Stamford.
I remember that being one of the more amusing ones of that era of news.
Miller said, it was like, oh, no, I was borrowing. Oh, it's an old friend of mine. They didn't see it that way, though. But, and then all the headlines came out and said, Ezra could get 26 years.
For what? Unless he borrowed several kilos of cocaine. Fuck off.
There were several charges, breaking and entering and theft and everything. But News 10 ABC has reported that the sentence will be 90 days of suspended sentence, which means no jail time, 1 year of probation, and a $500 fine. There's also the state of Vermont had Miller agree to 41 conditions as a part of that plea deal. And those include random drug testing, no drinking during the course of the year, mandatory mental health counseling, a bunch of stuff. But that's all that's happening.
I mean, had I been caught, I had several moments in college that might have been considered something similar.
Yeah, we all have.
Both ways.
Sure. I used to have a roommate who would just rummage around in my room while I was asleep looking for cigarettes.
Oh, you told me about him.
Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. Some people are just a little anal.
Yeah.
How dare you break into my house and steal several bottles of fine liquor while I'm out of town?
It depends.
We haven't spoken in 15 years. I don't know. I don't know how long it had been since Ezra talked to those people.
Mm-hmm.
I like to imagine that it had been like 15, 20 years, and it was just sort of like a Back to the Future Part 2 type of thing, where Ezra goes into the house and steals the bottles and thinks, my buddy Jed won't mind. And then it turns out that like Jed died, and there's like a whole family living there that never met Ezra.
You know, now I'm curious. How old is Ezra?
I don't know.
That's a fine question.
I guess I've got to look that up now. God.
Well, now that you've said 15 years.
30.
So that's the funniest part of it. It's like, no, they're a bit screwed. Like, two reactions would happen if I showed up on somebody I knew at 15 and stole their shit. One, hey, hadn't seen you in a while. I guess you need that. All right. Good to see you. Please don't visit my home again. I have children. Or, I don't recognize your ass. I'm going to call the cops.
Yeah. Just everyone's just like...
It could be a combination of what I just said. I could be dialing the cops in my back pocket while I just said what I just said.
Yeah. I think my hope for the future, weirdly, is that everyone will start mistaking Ezra Miller for Barry Keoghan.
How?
I don't know. Barry Keoghan just kind of looks like Ezra a little bit.
There's some similarities, but I don't know. It's not similar enough for me.
Yeah. But it'd be really funny if to me, because when I glance at Barry Keoghan, I think it's Ezra for just a second. I think it'd be funny. It's sort of like the Bill Pullman, Bill Paxton thing.
Oh, that part was real. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. They don't even really look alike, but still.
No, but in the 90s, I couldn't tell based on that, VHS cover in Blockbuster. I had to look closely.
Moving on. David Sandberg, director of Shazam, says that the new trailer is coming at the end of the month. So before January 2023 ends, we have less than 9 days, and we'll have a new Shazam trailer.
Yeah.
And in the same amount of time, some point during this freaking last 9 days of January, James Gunn is going to give us part of a slate. He says.
We'll see. I'm curious
him.
because he's been so responsive about, like, he gets back to people so quickly online.
Yeah. I mean, people were like, hey man, January's almost over. And he was like, we still have like a third of the month.
Yeah.
Like, or no, yeah. He's like, it's not even 2/3 of the month yet, and what are you doing? Do you know what day it is? It's the 20th. Calm down. Mm-hmm. He knows.
Well, I'm going to be curious about two things. One, if he actually keeps his word, like, can he tweet things 24 hours later and still be able to keep his word? Like, because that to me indicates that he's actually relatively in charge of these decisions. Much like we feared he wouldn't be. That would be yet another, corporate shill kind of situation. And two, like,
I don't think I really feared that.
I mean, I suppose I did in the back of my head.
I fear nothing now.
It's also true.
All of my hopes and dreams have been dashed repeatedly.
I would just hate to see like somebody that's actually a creative get in there and have the helm and just to have it taken away from them. But
oh yeah, because we've never seen that before.
I know, but there's always been this like list of execs that were supposed to be doing it, and that worked out great. So yeah, I would like to see. I would like to see the fruition of like no. When I say something on Twitter, it really does matter. That would just be nice. Yeah. Especially the way he uses it. But I don't know. There's a part of me. There's a part of me, if I was James Gunn, that would just be like, Bish, I know. Are you fucking kidding me? Do you know how much work I have to do to stop and answer your fucking tweet?
Actually, he did speak to that in an interview that we'll get to in a little bit. But real quick, though, let's see. There's this new interview with Matt Reeves. It's not really that new, but since the last time we did a show.
New enough.
Yeah, it's new enough, Here's the thing. Me and Jason, we're people. I mean, we got shit going on in our lives. Mm-hmm. Can't always get around to this. We try. We do try.
It's important, but paying bills comes first, unfortunately.
Yeah. Yep.
If you'd like to become a patron.
Right. Patreon.com/DC on screen. And
relieve us of that burden.
All that will not stop a wife's birthday dinner from happening. That had to happen last week.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Just, DoorDash that shit and come over here. It's fine. We'll record.
Let's see. New interview. Matt Reeves was talking to Collider about how the Penguin series ties into the Batman sequel. He says, there's actually a whole little fabric of things we're wanting to do, the way we're doing with Penguin, and how that comes back into how that will lead into the sequel, and what that sequel is going to be. I'm not sure that sentence made any sense, but that's what he said. I had trouble reading it. Like, my God. There had to have been an easier way to say that, Matt.
It struck me too. You'd have to read it back to me for me to even guess.
He says,
I'll give it a shot, but oof.
He continues, there are some other things we have planned too. I'm not even sure what you said in the first place. Was the Batverse of what we're doing has me very, very excited, and I'm very passionate about it. So I'm excited. That sounds that part sounds really good.
Yeah, that was cogent. Just think maybe there were a couple of shots of espresso before that last sentence.
Either that or the person who transcribed it was just like out of their brain.
Yeah, copy pasting the shit out of it.
Well, I mean, I copied and pasted that over here. So, I mean.
Yeah, but you ever like copy paste a sentence fragment thinking you're going to make a whole sentence and don't edit it later?
Yes, but I didn't do that here.
Yeah, I was assuming you had reported his sentence correctly.
Also, on January 12th, it was reported that Matt Reeves was going to have a meeting with Gunn and Safran sometime this month. And Reeves said Gunn and Safran, have been great. We're actually supposed to meet in the next few weeks because they want to talk to me about the broad plan, and then they want to hear the Batverse plan. We're just getting together to talk about all of that. Look, I'm excited to hear what they're going to do. The Batverse thing, as James has said and as Peter has said, is kind of its own thing they're letting us do.
Nice.
He also says they have a big plan, and I have this big Batverse plan. It's just about us really getting to know each other. It's going to be fun. And then he also told Collider in regards to what the reveal, not the reveal, what the hell am I talking about? What the focus of the sequel will be. He says, to me, the thing that I really feel is that I also believe that Rob is so special in the role. My goal has always been to do these point of view stories that allow the character to always be the emotional center of the story. Because a lot of times what happens is after you do the first one, then suddenly other rogues gallery characters come in and they kind of take over. And then Batman takes a back seat, character-wise and emotionally. So I'm down with, Batman being the focus of the sequel.
Yeah, I dig that. That would be fun. They're not wrong. I mean, every time you do it, it gets it's like they go, oh man, you were great at this. What if we did this though, but you were here too?
Uh-huh.
And yeah, that would be nice to actually see another Batman movie. I presume he has to get a haircut at some point, right?
Maybe.
You can't keep the 90s haircut the entire time.
Well, you can sort of do
I don't know. I'm doing a decent job of it myself.
Yeah, you are. You can kind of do like a 90s thing. You know how like in the 90s, we as a society were kind of obsessed with like the 20s through the 40s?
Yeah, that's a real thing.
Yeah, so he could just do like that Andy Dufresne do from like Shawshank Redemption, still have his long hair, but kind of have it cut on the back. And that's very animated series.
True. I just need to be able to slick it up a little bit for Bruce Wayne.
You can slick it.
Just as he gets older. Even Bruce Wayne
like I said,
ages a little bit.
Andy Dufresne.
Yeah, true. For some reason, I think in my canon, like Bruce Wayne himself has to mature a little bit, or it's not believable. Like if he was 55 years old pretending he was a 22-year-old bachelor, like I guess it could be done, but
yeah,
that would draw more attention. Like it would make more sense if he just actually like dug in a little bit to some charities and went to some actual board meetings and was on time for once.
I mean, I think that's what they were getting at in the first one.
Yeah.
I think they'll get there on that at least.
I hope so.
Honestly, I just kind of feel like that's where they're going to go.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong.
In the sequel, he eats 4 bites of fruit. Real human growth there.
What?
I swear the only thing he ate in that entire thing was like that one little grasp of like 2 grapes or some shit or whatever it was.
Hey, you know what? I was just thankful he ate something.
Yeah.
I don't even think I noticed it. What I notice is when people will like sit down for like a meal or whatever, or like, and they like their food comes and they've got like a whole hamburger and a huge, pile of fries. And then they're like, you know what we should do? We should go and like find the or my mother's killer or whatever it is. And then they just get up, don't ask for a doggy bag. They just leave the food sitting there.
Yeah. No, and like one character who's known as being the playful one, like grabs 3 fries on the way out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the trope I remember.
Yeah. Hate it.
It'd be like Garth would go back and grab like 3 fries and bounce.
Yeah. Same way I hate like the trope of like someone dramatically lights a cigarette and they have a short conversation and then like the dude like angrily tosses the cigarette. And I'm like, you just lit it. Like there's nothing there. Like it's just like that you didn't smoke. You lit the end of a cigarette and then threw it on the ground in anger. The whole thing is intact.
I mean, to be fair, the last time I actually lit a cigarette, that was how it went down for me.
That's just a shame.
But I thought it was a different kind of cigarette.
No.
And
moving right along.
having discovered what I gotten into, it was bounced. It was dispatched quickly.
Fair enough.
I didn't want to spend like the next 2 hours of my evening throwing up on my driveway.
Oh, yikes.
I mean, yeah.
What, you think it was a THC cigarette or something?
Yeah. But the nicotine spins. That's what'll get me.
Ah, yeah. Gotcha.
Big difference.
Gotcha. So, someone asked James.
Sorry.
Yeah, sure. Someone asked for James Gunn's thoughts on a fan casting of Superman. I don't know who this was. I don't know the person, but James said, "My thoughts are no one has been cast as Superman yet. Casting, as is almost always the case with me, will happen after the script is finished or close to finished, and it isn't. We'll announce a few things in not too long, but the casting of Superman won't be one of them." And then it was like a little merman. He put a little merman emoji. It makes me think Aquaman is involved in this.
Could be. I mean, his responses, though, that's another thing I was pointing out earlier, is like they seem just so goddamn practical, right?
Yeah.
Like, no, I don't know who Superman is in the young version yet. I haven't finished writing the script.
Yeah.
And? Question mark?
On January 13th, he posted a picture of the Peacemaker cast, and he said, 1 year ago today, Peacemaker debuted. Best group of people ever. Love and miss you guys, and see you all soon. So that should answer any questions anyone had about whether or not he's erasing Peacemaker.
Nah, that show did great.
In an interview with Empire, he also teased that some Guardians of the Galaxy might show up in DC. He said, "This cast are like my family. I cannot tell you how close I am to Chris Pratt and Palm and Dave and Zoe and Karen, but I also know I will work again with all of those people individually, again, probably at my other job." And also in this interview, he said he referred to finishing Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 as his day job and revealed that he considers his duties at DC Studios, quote, "a very healthy part-time job. That's at least another 40 to 60 hours a week." Good Lord.
Lovely.
And he's still taking time out to answer our stupid questions on Twitter.
I mean, he may be including that in the time, though. The PR management part of it.
Possibly. Now,
I've seen some objection to the idea of like bringing over the Guardians crew to the casting, but like, honestly, I don't actually care.
No, I don't care.
Most of them, if not all, I would be perfectly happy to see.
Yeah. Yeah. In fact, he responded to some of the backlash. This rando on Twitter said, "Please do not encourage Guardians of the
the cast
Guardians of the Galaxy cast to follow you to DCU. Find fresh actors that can craft brilliant characters and forge new memories for audiences instead of swimming in the same muddy pond. I know I am not alone in feeling this way. Rebirth, not reuse, please." And Gunn says, "We have hundreds of roles to cast. As I've always done, some will be brand new faces, some will be actors I have worked with before, and some will be actors you know, who I've never worked with. What matters most is the actor fits the role, and they're easy to work with."
Yeah, that'll do it.
And then someone reiterated, like, is some of this slate still being announced this month? Yes. Like, over and over again, we've seen that he has said, yes, it will be happening, but sometime in January. Now, this is interesting.
We should do later just a private, like, what would you do with the Guardians cast and the DC Universe thing? That'd be fun.
Oh, we should. We should. Maybe make that a Patreon exclusive.
I have a couple ideas.
Okay. Gail Simone. Very good comic book writer.
Oh, yeah.
Gail Simone said on Twitter, "Ray Palmer is the Scott Summers of DC Comics."
I saw that. Hold on. I think Gunn said something like, wait, now what? Hold on.
No. Gunn said, "Okay, hold on." And when you dig deeper into her comics, you'll find that she is specifically talking about how boring Ray Palmer is as a character.
Well, so I know this. I've never seen her talk about Ray Palmer. I do know this about her. She fucking thinks Scott Summers is the worst character in the entire Marvel universe. Like, she hates him. She thinks he's incredibly boring and incredibly arrogant. Just an absolute waste of space, and like cannot believe that he was actually in charge of the fucking X-Men at certain times. So for her to say that Ray Palmer occupied that kind of space in DC is like, hold the fuck up, Gail. All right, I kind of agree about Scott Summers, but are we sure about Ray Palmer? Let's have a conversation first.
Yeah, but this is so. Yeah, James said, "Okay, hold on," which can be read a couple of different ways. It could be read, "Okay, hold on," like that's too far.
Definitely how I read it.
It could also be read as challenge accepted. And likewise, Tom Taylor's comment to James Gunn, which was, "Yeah, whoa," could either be, "I'm friends with James Gunn and I know some stuff and holy shit, the cool stuff that's coming," or, "Yeah, whoa, you went too far."
I do know this, though, also. Tom Taylor and Gail Simone have an ongoing beef.
I think Gail Simone has an ongoing beef with most people.
Basically every comics writer, yeah. She is actually fun to follow. The trolling is either innocuous or funny. It's rarely an actual like contention of any kind. And it's mostly, her and Tom Taylor is mostly like Tom Taylor accusing her of being a bear.
What is that?
There's there's just an entire whole joke on Twitter where Gail Simone is actually just a bear. Like a literal bear.
Like a big masculine gay guy?
Nope. An actual bear.
Oh, okay.
Not even anthropomorphized, just an actual bear.
And I need more context, I think.
It's hard to describe, but it's kind of funny to watch here and there.
Yeah.
It's in good fun, mind you, but
all right.
Then she plays along.
I don't even know what to do with that, man. Do you understand me? I don't know what to do with it.
I don't know. The joke is that Tom Taylor thinks she's a bear. Well, not even Tom Taylor. He just picked it up. I think the rest of the joke existed before him. But anyway, that's how it is. I don't know.
All right.
Dig into it.
Well,
I guess do an advanced Twitter search for Gail Simone and bear. If anyone cares.
Well,
it's mostly her defending herself saying, "I promise I'm not an actual fucking bear." And then Tom Taylor sending her a picture of a dead salmon or something. You sure, Gail? I found this on my door the other day.
Well, okay, on that note, it's time for a break. And we come back, we're going to be talking about Jason Momoa's big DC news. And him addressing whether or not the rumors are true about him not playing Aquaman anymore. And a whole bunch of other stuff. Sandman, Harley Quinn, Superman and Lois, Flash things. We'll be right back.
Are you struggling to conceive? You have options, and at Piedmont Reproductive Endocrinology Group, we'll make sure you have the guidance and support you need. PREG is known for individualized fertility care that's unique to every patient. We take the time to provide a reassuring and empowering experience because we believe that you deserve nothing less. Let us help you on your journey to parenthood. Visit us at pregonline.com to learn more. Get the guidance and support you need at Piedmont Reproductive Endocrinology Group.
Alrighty, we are returned.
One of those.
So,
and also neither.
It's DC on screen, the second coming. Mm-hmm. Prepare to be raptured.
Mm-hmm. So Stephen Pretty version, or?
I don't know, man. Alrighty, so Jason Momoa.
Frank Brady.
Teasing some big DC news. He put up a video. He said, 4 years ago, I had the Jeep out front. 4 years ago, I was screaming, wasn't I? Screaming when I left Warner Brothers. 4 years again. It's a mystery, baby. I got some really good news. Great news with Warner Brothers. Amazing. Wish I could tell you, but here it is. Peter, I love you. James, I love you. David, to the future, to the future. And he actually, just to make sure that everyone understood this was, DC news. They even had WBDC on the video. Since the last time was a little murky about what it meant.
Yeah.
So, then in a recent interview with Variety.
Just in case you didn't get this cheap piece of viral, I don't know. What do you call that? It's not quite marketing. Just hype piece,
Mm-hmm. In a recent interview with Variety, Momoa was talking about meeting with Gunn and Safran, and he said, it was very, very wonderful. I'm in the house of Warner Brothers, and they're liking a lot of what I'm doing. We've got a lot of good things coming. The beautiful thing is me and my partner wrote the first treatment for Aquaman 2, about a 55-page treatment, and a lot of it has to do with me talking to the UN, expediting what's going to be happening with the melting ice caps. There's no far-off galaxy coming to destroy us. There's no aliens from another place. It's just the idea of us ruining our planet. And the fact that we all need to get it together and save our home. So it's fun to see it coming out this December. And I'll always be Aquaman. The rumors aren't right. I'll always be Aquaman. Ain't anyone coming in there and taking shit. And then there might be some...
he would fist fight them.
And then he leans back. I watched the video. He leans back and says, and then there might be some other characters too. I could play other things too. I could be funny and savage and charming once in a while. So that certainly sounds like he's playing Aquaman and Lobo.
It really does. Going through the whole interview, it makes sense that Aquaman would be like the climate change leader. Mm-hmm. Goes to the UN. I'm sure it's a very angry speech, and he's probably very scary in the film. Mm-hmm. And I kind of like that he was involved in the treatment. But after that, seriously, at this point, it would have to be a literal sea change to actually have another Aquaman.
Mm-hmm.
And that's fine. It can be done. It can be done as much as, the third thing. Yeah, dude. Those three adjectives. Can you think of anybody else? I can't. I've been trying to for days. I cannot think of anybody else that it fits more perfectly than Lobo.
No. I can't.
I wouldn't mind if it did. Hell, shoot us some ideas if you got some. But
sure.
Damn. It sounds like that. And we know he's excited because, we know he likes that character. So he might be that excited.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think he's playing. I think he's playing Lobo. I do, and apparently he's not going to stop being Aquaman.
Yeah, right now it sounds like he's about to get 2 decent characters under his belt.
I'm fine with that.
I'm good with it.
Then during an interview with the Wrap,
part of the whole fun of Momoa has been that he is so fucking excited about his characters.
Yeah, absolutely. And Momoa did reveal that there will be multiple versions of Batman in Aquaman 2. He said a shot with a couple of different Batmans. But you just don't know what's going on, and we'll see what the end product is. So maybe it kind of sounds like he's not sure that one or both of them will be in there. But he did shoot with a couple of different Batmans. And we know that was Keaton, and we know it was Affleck.
Right.
So this is a start. See, everyone's talking about, reboots and everything. I think they're just going so far multiverse. we're not even going to be having this conversation in a year.
Yeah. I mean, I think we've talked about that before, though. Like, if you're actually going to try to make this continuity make sense, you have no choice but to expand.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Talking to the Wrap, Momoa also confirmed that Topo, the Atlantean octopus, who plays the drums, will also be returning.
Fantastic.
He said, "Oh yeah, he'll be back all right. But it's hilarious. It's wonderful. You're going to love it. This moment, I want you to remember that you asked me. It might be one of the funniest moments of the whole movie."
I'm looking forward to that.
I'm curious. During a recent appearance at a fan expo in San Francisco, Desire actor Mason Alexander Park talked about the decision to not refer to the new episodes of Sandman on Netflix as season 2. Mason said, "Netflix has not gone on record as calling it as season 2 on purpose. And so I will from now on and in the future and possibly until the end of the universe not refer to it as season 2 until we know what it is. There is more Sandman coming in a really cool way, and it can take many forms. So we're starting shooting in the summer, and we're going to tackle the next huge chunk of stories and however long that might take. And I'm really excited to share the format of what that might be with everybody eventually." I'm just so excited there's more Sandman coming.
It feels fitting to reply to Desire this way and just say, "I don't give a fuck, just bring it." Call it whatever the fuck you want to call it. Just bring me the new episodes and I will happily accept them. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm. Harley Quinn won Best Animated Series at the Critics' Choice Awards.
Thank God.
I mean, how do you not?
I mean, I don't really care about awards insofar as they don't
I don't either.
confirm my biases, but I like that one won.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
Superman and Lois, season 3. They released a trailer for it. I sent it to you.
Mm-hmm.
How'd you feel?
Looks good. Not caught up.
I don't think you have to be.
Looks fine. That has always been the best like cinematic show on the CW. In the CW verse.
New Jonathan's hair looks awful.
I didn't catch that part.
I just wish old Jonathan used to comb his hair back, and this one has like a Moe from the Three Stooges look. He looks like he stumbled out of a Star Trek Strange New Worlds casting call or something.
I mean, it might legit have been a year and a half, 2 years. I feel like the first one had like a coif. I don't know how to describe it. Like what's that 50s style coif where everything was on top of your head? Which one?
Like a pompadour?
No, not a pompadour. It was like a greaser haircut. A little bit like Egon in the cartoon.
And I would call that a pompadour, but I don't know.
Well, I thought a pompadour was something different, but now that
A pompadour is like what Conan has, Conan O'Brien.
Oh, no, that's... Okay. Is that a pompadour? No,
Yeah.
more circular. Like going all the way back.
You really are talking about what Egon had. What what Chris Tucker had in The Fifth Element, where it's just stuck a paint roller to the top of his head.
Yeah. Yeah, that is basically a what are those little like treats we used to eat as a kid that were like a
I don't think I ate anything like that.
No, it was like a white filling with a circular little crispy kind of pastry thing.
An eclair?
Not eclair. God damn it!
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know. You're talking about your candy cocks or something. I don't know.
No, it's
I was like sucking the white cream out of the candy cock. Don't you remember?
It's roughly what I was doing, but it was much better. Definitely more sugary. I don't think that would transfer to that particular context.
That's why I said candy cock.
I feel like it was like God, this is gonna haunt me. I'll look
More
it up
sugar
later.
than savory.
I'll look it up. Candy horn?
I don't
cream
know.
Horn? Was it a cream horn?
A cream horn? I am a fat man with type 2 diabetes, and I have never heard of a cream horn.
I feel like you would have eaten a cream horn if you'd run across it.
Probably, but I've never heard of what you speak. This is just sitting around, and I know I know your backstory. I know how your family lived. Like you're just sitting around drinking gallons of sweet tea and eating cream horns all day. Like,
That feels about right.
Oh my God. No, I don't know what you're talking about.
I'll send it to you later. I'll find it. I'll find it. God damn it.
Let me.
I have to now.
I'll look down at my phone and be like, tell my wife, she won't know what I'm talking about. I'll be like, oh, good news. Jason sent me a picture of his candy cock.
I remember the worst part is if they were stale. Somehow all that sugar didn't matter. You'd be like, no. It was French, like in its spirit, Like it had to be a fresh one because that was delightful and fluffy and airy. But if it wasn't, you just threw it away after the first bite. Like, no, goddamn you all. That whole 4-pack. It came in a 4-pack. I don't know why I remember that part. It wasn't just prepackaged. It was the packaging with the cellophane wrap. Someone made these and put them in a package.
Now it just sounds like a Twinkie.
An elevated Twinkie.
An elevated Twinkie. A cream pie horn of plenty.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Whatever the fuck this was.
All right. So, yeah, I thought Superman Lois looked pretty good. Looked epic and whatnot, and I'll look forward to it. What caught me off guard was I actually found myself looking forward to the final season of The Flash after looking at their trailer. It actually looked pretty good. Did you watch that trailer?
I did. And it did. I'm so far behind that
yeah,
I've lost a couple references there, but overall, the gist of it, yeah, I'm down.
I'm half a season behind.
I am going to finish these shows, by the way, just for the record.
Fair enough.
In case anyone's curious.
I like the idea that Barry, what?
I just got so far behind. It's intimidating now to try to do.
So we've got Barry having made this time map.
Mm-hmm.
And I really like this idea of him basically spoiling their life for Iris.
I would be so fucking mad.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Iris, you're going to get pregnant in 3 months. How great is that? Dude, what?
Livid.
Stop it.
As a person who deals with depression and anxiety, the one thing I would not like is to know what's happening. Because the one thing that actually helps with the depression and anxiety is the hope part.
Uh-huh.
And, granted. Hold on. Let me back up.
That's probably why I've been so depressed lately.
Granted. If in this situation Grant came to me and be like, dude, you come up with $1 billion idea in 7 months, you literally sell it, you have $3.4 billion in the bank. Okay. I wouldn't mind knowing about that. But if it was normal life, it was just normal life with actual real expectations, it would just like, dude, just leave me my hope and let me deal with my emotions and try to deal with the expectations part.
I think I only want prophecy for the good things.
Yeah. Even that. What if you fuck off and expect that too much and fuck it up?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Probably not a good idea to have any kind of knowledge of your future.
Typically, it's my idea. Like if I was in a quantum leap kind of situation, it would be, I don't actually want to know how this gets better, but I wouldn't mind a hint, if that makes any sense. Oh,
you don't want a hint. You're going to wind up like Shatner in the Twilight Zone, cranking pennies into the devil box, like taking slips of paper,
I mean, yeah.
Dude, I got my sister for Christmas, and apparently she got it for me too. She hasn't gotten it yet. Like she bought it, but it got messed up or something. But we wound up buying each other the same shirt that has that devil on it from the Twilight Zone, and it's like Mystic Seer, and it has like all the little possible answers on it and stuff.
Lovely.
Yeah. Anyway,
I wouldn't want the whole map, but I wouldn't mind a pointed finger sometimes.
Yeah, just like Bruce Almighty just driving along going, God, just give me a sign. There's like all these signs in front of him on the truck. There's literally a truck carrying a bunch of signs that say stop. Any kind of sign, Lord.
Yeah, it feels right. I would go too far, though. I'd be like, if that's going to happen, what else?
We've got a Gotham Knights trailer.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you think?
Looks better than previous.
I thought it did look better than it has previously. I saw a talent in there.
Mm-hmm.
And I went, well, for a show that will probably be canceled after the first season.
Most likely. And for a show that, like, how to put this?
Looks all right.
Referencing my previous problems with how it's going to take me years to catch up on the CW, I know this show technically does not have that problem. I could just start watching it. My problems are still with watching things on the CW. It still sucks.
Uh-huh.
So there's always going to be that. And that's also what's held me up for years now. I just lost patience. But this show looked like something I would watch if it was definitely more readily available, I guess. Like if I could just, stream the damn show without 17 commercials about how I shouldn't be vaping even though I'm not.
Uh-huh. So looking at the trailer, though, I did think it looked better than it did before. A lot of people are angry because apparently they were talking about Batman being dead.
Mm-hmm.
And they had a quick shot of cops like walking up to a body in a friggin' 3-piece suit wearing a Batman cowl laying on the ground. And people are like, Batman looks stupid in this show. Like, this is what Batman looks like? He's just wearing a suit with a cowl? I don't think that's
how Bruce Wayne's dead. And
either someone killed Bruce Wayne and put a Batman cowl on him,
like that's
because they knew who he was.
Easily. Like, you could probably buy that at a random costume shop in Gotham and just throw it on a corpse.
Yep.
Easily explainable.
Or it's just some other rando who's been killed and someone stuck a Batman mask on him to try to frame Batman. I mean, there's so many different possibilities. I don't think they literally were saying, this was Batman's costume. He was just wearing a Bruce Wayne suit with a mask.
No. No version involves him doing that. And it would be much harder to dress that dead man in a suit than it would to put a cowl on his face.
I mean, I just think it's a stupid thing to be mad about, and it's clearly not what they're doing.
Have you ever tried to dress a 4-year-old who wants to be asleep? Like, it's hard. And they weigh about 40 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. Imagine dressing a 200. What do you think he's worth? 235 pounds? Mostly muscle?
I don't know.
I'd rather just put a cowl on his head and call it a day.
Sure. I'd say so. You want to talk about some feedback real quick and wrap her up?
Sure.
Cool, man. Hunter Iggy on YouTube says, DC on screen, what's up, guys? What's up, man?
Hey.
Kal-El on YouTube.
The weird pause. I'm sorry, dude. I was expecting Dave to talk. I don't know what I was supposed to do in the meantime.
Yeah.
That sounded very unexcited about...
I was supposed to, I was expecting more comment.
I got nothing. What did this person say?
What's up, guys? That's it. That was it.
Oh, hey. That's it? Okay.
Kal-El on YouTube says, I'm a lifelong DC fan, and I will never pay a penny for a DC product with James Gunn's name attached. 100%.
You have every bit of that right. But I'll guarantee you this right now, my brother in Christ. You will.
Yeah.
You will absolutely do it.
You'll watch it at least.
Yep.
You might download it illegally.
That's a real thing.
It might take, 2 or 3 years of you claiming that it sucks. And then when some friend of yours says, well, just give it a try. And then you'll begrudgingly sit there and watch it.
Oh, yeah.
But you'll see it at least, I would imagine.
It'll happen.
Eli Hernandez says over on Patreon, just want to let you guys know you're doing a great job. Keep it up.
Thanks.
Hey, Eli. One of our sainted patrons instead of patron saints.
After the movie, of course.
Yeah. And then another of our wonderful patrons, Giuseppe Vicaretti, a.k.a. Juice. The Juice.
Mm-hmm. The convicted. No, unconvicted film.
No, he wasn't. You talking about OJ?
Yeah. It's only
about that
only
too.
in civil court. That's not convicted.
Yeah. We're of a certain age, where if someone says Juice or OJ, we think of OJ Simpson. And it'll never not be that way. Like,
I do still think first of the Simply Orange brand.
Oh. That is delightful.
I can get high pulp. I enjoy pulp.
We know O.J. Simpson got high pulp.
Yeah.
Slicing into those throats. I mean,
and ran slowly away from it.
Yeah. Giuseppe says, I have 2 questions for you guys.
Fascinating how people don't even know what the fuck we're talking about.
It's called a cream pie cone of plenty. Horn of plenty, whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
Giuseppe says, I have 2 questions for you guys. So we know Gunn is penning the script for a younger but not too young Superman. Do you guys have any fan castings you want to throw out? Yeah, Henry Cavill.
Just out of nowhere, with no, no preemptive factors whatsoever.
Yeah.
Just what if Henry Cavill did this?
Yeah, I think it'd be great. I don't know any of these people. Like, I keep seeing people throwing out ideas for fan casts, and I'm just like, I don't know any of these guys. Like, everyone's talking about this kid from Euphoria. I have no idea what that is.
I have not seen Euphoria. Heard great things. Have not seen it.
Yeah. I haven't even heard great things. I don't know anything about it.
I'm one step farther.
So I guess I got nothing on the fan castings.
For the new the Gunn era? I don't know.
Yeah.
We could probably do that. Given time. And the right platform.
Time. Patreon, perhaps?
Possibly.
Well, hell, I don't know. Maybe that might actually be worthy of an actual news feed, of an actual main feed. I mean,
well, that part's true. It would mean just as much one way or the other as in it means fuck all.
Yeah,
yeah.
Giuseppe continues. Also, have you guys picked up any of the McFarlane Toys pre-orders that have just dropped? Keep up your great job, guys. Can't wait for more episodes to come.
Thank you,
man. Thank you. I have not picked up any of the McFarlane Toys pre-orders. I don't pre-order anymore.
Oh, you did get bit a couple times.
More than a couple of times. Whenever you get pre-orders, you wind up walking into the store several months later and they're on the shelf and you still haven't gotten your damn pre-order. And also, there's the whole thing where, like, certain stores, Target, will just be like, oh yeah, well, we sent you an email and said, hey, do you still want this thing you ordered? And if you don't respond within a day, they cancel your pre-order or something. Like, it's some bullshit like that.
Yeah.
And I don't check my email every day. I've got like 18 different email addresses. Mm-hmm. So anyway, I have all of my email addresses since like 1997.
Yeah. I have to constantly ask you which one I'm supposed to send something to.
I always tell you the same one.
I know, but I never know.
No, you do. You do. I swear to God, you do. It's the same one every time.
It is, but you've told me the other one a couple times.
I don't think so.
Yep.
Maybe I have.
You lost access to the one for a minute.
Okay.
I thought. I don't know what the source was.
I don't know what you're talking about, but okay.
In any case, I felt like I would just send things comfortably to the one.
Yeah. So McFarlane Toys. I want so many of them. Not all of them, but I want so many of them.
Yeah. They're sexy as hell.
Yeah, like just even though like the 66 figures that they've been putting out, like they just announced King Tut. I'm gonna have to get King Tut. I'm not gonna pre-order it from Target because screw Target. They're bullshit.
Yeah,
but
they fucked
it. Quite a few times. Christopher White over on Facebook says, I have a question. How do you feel about Jason Momoa playing Aquaman and Lobo in the DCU? Is there any precedent for them crossing paths in the comics? Could be a little immersion breaking if not handled right. I don't know about precedent for them in the comics. They sort of operate not in too similar of circles.
Yeah.
From time to time, Lobo will be, in a Justice League story or something. But
yeah, that's about all there is to that as far as the precedents. But him playing them both, that all tracks.
Yeah, I don't have any problem with it. Like, for me, I know, let's scratch that. I loved seeing Brandon Routh's Ray Palmer standing next to Brandon Routh's Superman.
Yeah.
In Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Yeah, that was a big one.
It does not bother me in the slightest. Not to mention, I imagine they would make, especially if they're dealing with the theatrical budget, they're going to make Lobo a bit bigger. I imagine they're going to, whether they say it's because he's wearing like the giant like boots or whatever, he's going to be taller than Aquaman. I would bet you anything they don't just do like pale white skin. I think they'll probably do some sort of texture to it. They'll Drax him up a little. And also, I've, just talking to friends and whatnot and like playing around in Photoshop, I've made Jason Momoa look like Lobo, and he don't look that different. I mean, that's similar to Aquaman. Like they changed his hair. They, took away the eyebrows, gave him the big black pointy tattoos around his eyes or whatever the hell those are.
Yeah.
I mean, he looks different.
Yeah.
He looks different. They make him a little more muscular, CGI him a little bit, give him some texture. He'll be fine.
That'll be good.
He'll be fine. It won't bother me at all.
No.
If for whatever reason Aquaman and Lobo wind up in the same scene, which I doubt will happen. I want an R-rated Christmas movie where he goes after Santa Claus.
That would work. I would go another way with it though. Like, I'll bet if they cast him as Lobo, they do it intentionally. Combine those characters.
You think so?
Yeah. Hanging Lantern.
I could see them doing that too, yeah.
It'd be kind of weird just to not mention it.
I don't know that it would. I'm down either way though. I'm absolutely down either way. Stick them next to each other. Don't stick them next to each other. I think Gunn is going to start building out his version of the DCU. This is my theory. He'll start building out his version of the DCU with his Superman while also operating within the quote-unquote Snyderverse. And by the end of it, it won't even matter which one is which because there'll be so much multiverse shit going on.
Yeah.
That's my guess.
Yeah, that works for me.
Yeah, works for me too. If not excited, I'm interested to see what's going to happen.
It's going to be interesting.
Like, I'm not like, woo, excited, but I'm like sitting here with a pipe, going like, oh, I'm riveted. Oh, this is, the tension is killing me.
Yeah. I mean, we're way past being just excited for no reason on SPAC. And they haven't outright given us the new slate yet. So no reason to be excited for things that aren't, at least theoretically in order.
Yeah.
It's just give it a couple weeks, I guess, in this case.
9 days.
Yeah. And then we can be excited or unexcited entirely.
Yeah.
We'll see.
And we'll get back to you and let you know. Obviously, like as soon as we can. Like, shit, man, I might do an emergency episode if I have to.
Yeah, those happen.
So I don't know, but that's it. That's all we got for this episode. Thank you to the patrons. Patreon.com/DC on screen. DC on screen. That's how. I'm just flummoxing and messing up here at the end. I do it all through the episode. Let's be honest.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I'm a sack of shit.
It's almost a trademark. Parentheses, we are not professional broadcasters.
Every night I pray for death.
Yeah.
So I won't have to face my unprofessionalism and my inability to speak correctly on a podcast.
Naturally.
All right, man. Yeah. We're going to go. DC on screen. That's over on the Twitter, on the Instagram. That's the username. You can find us and talk to us on those two places, dconscreen@gmail.com. We're on Facebook under something another DC on Screen. I can't remember which one. I think we have DC on Screen podcast under groups because the other thing was porn somehow. Yeah, the DC on Screen porn group. I don't understand.
I forgot about that. Yeah, it was a bunch of fantasy porn.
So anyway,
it was definitely not us.
It was
neither
definitely
the
not
group
us.
nor the porn.
Yeah. Until next time, keep some DC on your screen.
Bye.
Our intro music is by Jason Goss and Michael Shackelford. Michael's band, Galactic Engineers of Magnetic Sounds, or GEMS, can be found on SoundCloud and Bandcamp. Visit DCOnScreen.com to find our Patreon, merch, contact information, and every episode of the show for free, including crossovers we've done with other podcasts. DC On Screen is a maladjusted production. For more from me and Jason, including sketch comedy, vlogs, parodies, and our improvised web series Hey Guy, visit maladjusted.tv.
Are you maladjusted?